All right, everybody. This is an exciting edition of our training. There's a lot of people on here. We've got almost 100 people on this training right now. And the thing is that we know, like we've been talking about as people have been getting on here, that 85% or more of the United States right now is under a winter storm warning advisory. This is Frisco, where I moved from, and it's 23 degrees and snowing. It says do not get on the roads. People are without power across the country. And so, this is where what people are facing right now. So the reason we're doing this training like this is because you've got a special opportunity today and this weekend and really the next few days, because in a lot of the country that are not used to this kind of weather, us in the South, people don't know how to drive on it. The city shuts down. There's not going to be school. There's not going to be, people are going to be basically shut in for the next 3 or 4 days, maybe longer. So what that means is we know we have a captive audience. All right. It's a captive audience. In fact, I'm expecting more people to hop onto this training as we go, and we're going to record this and put this up immediately. So you need to get this to your people, because the content that we're going to cover today is very unique. I've never covered this before in training. Denson and I are going to talk about some things that you can do over the weekend, and there's some special Zooms that we've put together for this afternoon. We're going to be doing Zooms today at Denson and I are both going to do one. We're going to do one at 2 p.m. Eastern and one at 4 p.m. Eastern. So this is going to be about a 2-hour training. And then we'll have an hour break to invite to the 2 o'clock. And then you'll have about an hour and a half to invite to the 4 o'clock between the 2 o'clock. Now, the idea is that you want to get everybody to the 2 o'clock, because everybody right now is a captive audience. There's no football today. There's probably some basketball, but I know a lot of basketball games have actually gotten canceled. I was seeing on ESPN this morning that games have been canceled. The football games are tomorrow. The national championship is over. So we're in this very unique situation where you've got a lot of guys like me that love sports, and they're home and they're watching, brainless TV, mindless TV. They're, watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians or Yellowstone or whatever people watch. I don't watch TV, so I don't even know what they're watching, but they are. And there's no sports. And so and there's no kids' activities. There's no soccer games. There's no PTA meetings. There's no gymnastics events. Everything is canceled. Nobody's doing anything this weekend. They're all at home. So what that means is that you have the most captive audience that you've ever had in your entire Bright Life career. There's never been a time in the year and a half since we launched this company where we had 85% of the country sitting at home on their couch and nothing else really to do. And so this is a very unique God-given opportunity to capitalize on the weather and what's happening over the next 3 or 4 days, because we have a solution. Number one, we have a solution where people can make money, all right, from their couch. Literally, I'm sitting on my couch, okay, in my living room, and I can make money from here. In fact, I'm intending to. Of course, I don't have the weather that everybody else does. Florida's like the only place in the country that doesn't have this weather. There's even freeze warnings in parts of California. So, but I'm still going to be working. I'm still going to be inviting. And I've been building over the last 2.5 weeks since I've been in my new place. And I have 2 meetings lined up for Monday and Tuesday already. And so I'm going to go through that in just a minute. But before I do, I want to turn things over to Denson for just a moment, because we have some very special recognition. We have a bunch of people that leveled up, in not only ranks, but just with their business coming out of Miami. We had a group of people that attended the Miami event that capitalized on the 100% commission, meaning that they got, for every personal enrollment, they got 199 travel dollars. Instead of getting 100, they got a bonus 99. So they got 100% commission in the week following the Miami event. And we had people get literally hundreds of dollars in travel dollars. And so we're going to highlight those people. And we also have people rank up this week. And there's just some exciting things happening. I just showed you, for those of you that weren't on, and I know we've had more people join. Now we're over almost 80 people here on the Zoom. I'm assuming we'll be over 100 very soon. But I was showing as we were getting started, this is my notifications from the week. Just to kind of give you an idea here. My phone is literally like has been lighting up all day, every day. We've had 2 of our biggest sales weeks in company history over the last couple of weeks. And these people that Denson's going to highlight are a big part of that because they've been leveling up. We had people ranking up. We had people working until midnight last night at the end of the week to hit their ranks, and we're able to do so. We have a couple of people that are very close, missing like one or two sales. And we're going to recognize you all again tomorrow night on the corporate call. And obviously, tomorrow night's corporate call should be one of the biggest we've ever had. In fact, I'm going to do some snow info, snow training, and maybe we'll even do some snow contests for this week while we've got this captive audience that we're going to talk about today. So Denson's going to talk about some of the high achievers, the high flyers that are popping. There's events happening. People are doing events in Memphis and Atlanta and in Florida and in Texas. And so we've got a lot of things happening right now. So Denson, I'm going to let you share some of the hot news with what's going on in the business.
Okay, great, great. First off, let's go through the list of people that actually qualified for double, okay, double travel dollars. And the first one, and we'll just go from the highest number of signups down. So Ashley Lapiana, congratulations. She actually had 5 new signups. Her partner, Aaron Stelbrink, had 6 new signups. Guys, that's $500, $600 in extra travel dollars that they earned. So congratulations there. Tamara Henderson had 2 new signups, so she got a couple of hundred extra in travel dollars. Emma Richmond had 1 new sign up. Congratulations, Emma. She got $100 in extra travel dollars. Lanisa Williams had 2 new signups. Congratulations, Lanisa. That's a couple of hundred extra in travel dollars. John Banks had 2 new signups. So congratulations to you, John. A couple of hundred extra in travel dollars. And Zeb Land had 1 new sign up. So Zeb, congratulations to you. That's like 100% commission. Okay. One sign up, somebody pays 200. We're giving you 200 in travel dollars. So that's a really, really big deal. So congratulations, 100% commissions. Those people were present at the event. This is why it's so important to go to the event. You never know what Wes is going to do there. So, they were at the event, they went home, they put people in the business, and they got 100% commission. Now, I've got another person that I want to recognize. Now, we've got quite a few folks, quite a few people that have done free life. We got some other people that are promoted to Lifer 300 and that kind of thing. But the only one that we're going to cover today, because this is a really, really big deal, is I want to recognize one person that has promoted to Lifer 1600. And hang on a sec, Wes, you're going to have to turn on my sharing because I'm not. Well, hang on a second. I think I can do it from here. Let me reclaim host.
I got it. No, I got
All right. Okay. So what I'm going to do, guys, is let me share this here. And I tell you what, we're so excited for this lady to have her here as a part of what we're doing. Erin Stelbrink, she actually, and you guys give it up in the chat for her. She's come in like gangbusters here. She's promoted to Lifer 1600. So Erin, congratulations to you. I had the pleasure to meet you in Miami, and you are an incredible builder, incredible person. So we are excited for you guys. So, congratulations there. And again, guys, we're going to do like full recognition tomorrow night. So, you definitely have your teams on, be here with your teams. And I can tell you, Wes, we've got some folks that are getting very, very close. Now, like you said, one person away, 2 people away. You guys, things are absolutely starting to explode. And see, when you look at your phone, like Wes showed you there, and you see 10 or 15. This is what we saw last week: 10 or 15 new signups per day. Okay, so yeah, I've always kind of gauged that like 7 people a day, turns into about 3,500. Oh, I'm sorry, about 2,300 over the year. But, you start getting up around, 10, 15, 20 people a day. It won't take much to max this comp plan out. So we're excited about that. So, Wes, I'm going to turn it back over to you. Once you finish with what you're doing, I've got some things that I'm going to cover with the group as well. But, guys, we're really going to take advantage of everybody being locked down over the coming days. You can really compress time frames this way, and that's what it's all about. Some of you all are dependent on one meeting a week or one webinar a week. You'll get on one every now and then. And then some of you all, are doing 5 webinars a week, 10 webinars a week. And guys, this is how you compress the time frame. So that's what we're going to do over the next several days is to really compress, the time frames here. So let me stop my share, and I'm going to go back to the man here. So Wes, you got it, and I'll see you guys here a little bit later.
All right, everybody. Congrats, Aaron and Ashley, for all of your hard work over the last couple weeks coming out of Miami. We have a lot of people, the ladies in Memphis, Pretty Girls Travel. We've got people popping. Mike McBay in Dallas. We had more guests at the Foundation Room last week than we've had in probably 6 weeks.
Oh,
And
Wes, I forgot to tell you too. You know that new team in Dallas?
yeah,
Over 50 members already.
over
First month in
50
the
members
business.
in the first month. That's
Yes.
incredible. And that was over. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, historically, November and December are slow months for network marketing. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's the way it is. People are out shopping and spending money and doing the holidays, and you've got Thanksgiving butting up to Christmas and New Year's, and you've got basketball games and football games and high school football playoffs, and you've got Christmas break and all these distractions that people have. And we've been growing. In fact, November we grew, December we grew over November. So we had 2 big months in November and December. And we had a ton of people in Miami. We've already got more people signed up for Orlando right now today than we had at Miami. So Orlando is already going to be the biggest event in company history. And by the way, if you have not already signed up for Orlando, you need to get signed up. And if you've not already heard about the challenge, the 100 by 800 challenge, you've got to make sure that you talk to your team and explain what this is. So if you've not already seen the challenge, you don't know what it is. We challenged the entire company in Miami to get 100 people to Lifer 800 by Orlando. Now, if we do this, I am looking into several different VIP experiences in the Orlando area. I've been talking to the largest private charter yacht in the country. They can have 250 people on it. It sails out of Tampa. I've talked to a resort outside of Orlando that we would basically take over the entire resort for that Thursday or Friday before the convention. We're looking at doing some amazing things, and it will be all free to anybody who is Lifer 800 as long as we hit 100 people to Lifer 800 by we need to do it by probably like May 15th, so we can basically lock everything in. We've been negotiating, we've been talking to everybody, so we've got 4 months to be able to do this. And we had several people that either hit Lifer 800 in the last week or two since we announced this, and we've got dozens more that are like 1 or 2 sales away. So potentially, we're already going to be in the first couple weeks of the contest, probably 20 or 30 of the 100. So I want to know right now how many of you would be excited to be part of this VIP ultra luxurious getaway, this 1 day experience. And like I said, I'm trying to find the coolest, most VIP, unique event we can have. And I noticed too that we're up over 80 now. We're getting higher on the number of people on this training. So I would encourage you to still shoot people on your team texts and messages while you're sitting there taking notes. I mean, there's probably somebody you could remind to get on there. I just sent a couple of reminders right now on there to get a few more people on here as well. But we're already a third of the way. At the end of this week, we'll probably already be close to a third of the way there with the people that are very close to hitting Lifer 800. Over 20 for sure. So 60 to 70 more over the next 4 months. This is so doable. And I mean, this is going to be like I'm looking to spending $50 to $100,000 on this day. So I'm just telling you, and those of you that were at the yacht and you saw videos, we posted some videos of the yacht. I shared it on my Instagram page. It's on there. If you haven't shared it, you should go share it. Go to my Instagram page at Wes Melcher, and you can actually share that video that's in my posts. So we're literally, like I said, by the end of this next week, we'll probably be very close to a third of the way there. So how many of you are going to get there for Orlando and be part of this once in a lifetime incredible experience. I don't know what we're going to do yet. I mean, I've looked, I'm like trying to find the coolest, most ridiculous, amazing VIP experience that you could come up with. And so if you have any ideas or suggestions, I'm open. I'm going to be spending a ton of money on this promotion, and I want to celebrate all of you that make this possible. And this is going to really put the company on a totally different playing field. We've got so many people that are starting to win with Bright Life, and we really want to feature it. We've got Lottie, we've got Denson, we've got Rick, we've got Ruben, we've got John, we've got Robert, we've got Cindy, Lottie, Linda, Beth, Mario, Corey. Corey's one of our new guys. Corey's already got lots of people on his team. He's going to definitely be there. John Banks. And John was putting in sales after the Miami event. John will definitely be there. And Denson just reminded everybody, if you have a Lifer 800 on your left and right, you will automatically be Lifer 1600. So think about that. So who can you find on your team today and this weekend? Could you potentially help somebody get to Lifer 300 this weekend? And once somebody's Lifer 300, I mean, they're basically already a given to Lifer 800, right? So if you could find one or two people on each of your legs, one on the left, one on the right, to get to Lifer 300 this weekend, make that your goal. While everybody's stuck on the couch, Lynette just posted she'll be there. So, I mean, if everybody just on this chat that just posted on there, that's another 20 or 30 people that are going to help us get to the 100. And we have 100 Lifer 800s by the middle of May. I mean, you're going to have the most incredible day in Florida because we may be outside of Orlando. We may go to one of the beaches. I mean, like I said, this is going to be an incredible experience. You're going to want to be there. You will have I mean, I know a lot of you had FOMO from the video of the yacht and everybody that was on the yacht. And it was an incredible day, over $10,000 yacht day that these people experience, all the food and drinks. We spent over $1,000, $1,200, $1,300 on just food and snacks on the yacht. And so, that's how we do things here. And like I said, if you haven't seen that video, go to my Instagram page. You can share it there because we're getting the word out and people are starting to notice what's happening. And so if you've not already got your tickets for Orlando, you need to get your team to do that. And I have a very important announcement to make in regards to the Super Saturdays due to the weather, because if you look at the weather predictions for the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it is going to still be snowing on Thursday and Friday of next week. So this coming week, it's going to be snow and ice all week. And we know that we had people that were wanting to come from Houston and even some from Arkansas and maybe Memphis to come to the Dallas Super Saturday. We have a new team that's rocking in Dallas, but we want everybody to be safe. Okay. So our most important thing are all of you. And so we don't want people to be on the roads or to try to be, getting there. We know some of you, and in fact, Kirk and Tana and myself had already bought flights. The airlines are refunding tickets. I'm pretty sure that there's hotels that are doing refunds because cities are shutting down. Airports have canceled. DFW has already canceled hundreds of flights already, and it's going to continue throughout the week. So we decided to do something special next weekend so that all of you could get more training. And so instead of doing the training live in Dallas, anybody that bought tickets to the Dallas training can apply them to any training that you want to go to, including the Orlando training. So if you already bought a ticket to the Orlando or to the Dallas Super Saturday, we'll let you apply that credit towards the Orlando convention. So you'll be rewarded for those of you that already bought your tickets. We're going to do that for you. But on top of that, we are going to do a virtual Super Saturday next Saturday. So it will be the same time. It'll be the same schedule. So we're going to run from 10 to 2 here at brightlifetraining.com. It'll be a free training. There won't be a charge for it. And we're also going to do a presentation at 4 p.m. Central that day. So because it was going to be in Dallas, so we're going off the Central schedule. So it'll be 11 to 3 Eastern, 5 o'clock Eastern presentation. We're going to do 10 to 2 training. And so I just want to make sure that everybody knows that. We're going to put out a blurb. Eva will be posting that in the Facebook group. We'll be sending out some notices. The tickets for Dallas have already been pulled down when we made this decision yesterday based on the weather and how it was already starting to snow and ice. and all the airlines were starting to cancel flights. So we just decided that this would be an abundance of caution. Plus, we can touch more people by doing a virtual Super Saturday next Saturday. So we're going to have some guest speakers. So you're going to have Denson and myself, Eva, but you're also going to have some guest speakers as well. We're going to have probably some of the people that are hitting these ranks so you can hear from them. So, you know, Aaron and Ashley and Wonderful and Lottie and some of the people that are rocking it, we're going to ask them to share what's happening in their markets and some of the things that are working. And so I just wanted to make sure that we got that announcement out to all of you because we are going to be doing that virtual Super Saturday next Saturday. Denson, did you have something you wanted to add on there?
No, man, it's all
Okay.
good.
Okay, cool.
Let's
I saw you
go.
pop on, so I was just checking with you. So, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to shift gears and we're going to talk about the opportunity that's in front of us this weekend and this week. Okay. And for those of you that got on in the beginning, as we were getting started, you heard me talk about what's happening in the country right now. So just to remind you, for those of you that got on maybe a little bit late and we're not on here in the beginning, get you this here. Let's see. Weather. All right. This is Frisco, right? This is my old home weather screen where I used to live. Okay. And so 23 degrees, winter storm advisory, National Weather Service recommends do not leave your home. Okay. So it's basically telling everybody, and this is South. Okay. This is Texas. And we have people that got on here as we were getting started where the wind chill, like in Kansas City and St. Louis, like I saw wind chills that were like -20. Somebody said that the temps was -6. We have people that are in Canada. We have people on here in New York, Philly, Maine. I don't even want to know. I don't like the cold, so I don't even want to think about like how cold it is. This same kind of storm came through Texas back in the almost the exact same week, which is crazy. It was the first week of February. 2021, for those of you that don't remember the snowpocalypse, I actually had a horse that was born that week and named it Snowpocalypse. I remember that week vividly. And it was crazy. Some of my rental properties had pipes explode. I wound up buying an investment property later that was a multi-million-dollar house that the pipes exploded during the storm. So we know people are home, okay? And yeah, there are people that are without power. But the people that are without power have batteries on their stuff, right? So they're still at home surviving. They still have their phones. Some people have solar chargers. Some people have bricks for their phones. So my point is that we are not in a third world country where people are basically have no power, no electricity, no Wi-Fi, no cell phone towers. There will be probably some people that are without power for some periods, and obviously be praying for those people and hoping that everything gets restored quickly. But what it's created is that we've got this God-given weather event that has allowed you to know that you no longer have to ask people what they're doing, right? Because we teach and are inviting to clear the date first. That's what I've always trained when I've talked to people about inviting is what are you doing tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern when you're texting somebody or inviting somebody to the Zoom? Well, here's the good news, okay? You don't got to ask anybody. You don't have to ask them, what are they doing? Because we know that everybody is stuck at home. They are not going out. They are not leaving. There are no kids' sports. There are no gymnastics this weekend. There's no football games. The national championship is over. NFL games are tomorrow. So today we have this incredible opportunity where when you call people, they're going to answer because they're not doing anything. They're literally sitting at home doing nothing. So unless you're calling people here in Florida, you know where they are. So you don't have to ask them. So here is what I want you to focus on this weekend. And we're going to talk about this as I go through and show you what I've been doing on my own in the last couple of weeks since I moved and relocated to an area I had never even been to before. Okay. I'm going to show you exactly what I've been doing. I'm going to show you the post and I'm going to show you what's happening in terms of results too. Okay. But here's what I want you to do. There are two ways you can focus on your invites over the next week, okay? And primarily today and tomorrow, okay? Because we are doing special Zooms today, and we've got our big Zoom on Sunday night, tomorrow night. But what I want you to do is I want you to focus on two things, okay? Either, hey, I got a way you can make some money from home this weekend sitting on your couch. Who doesn't want to do that, right? Like if you sent me a text and it was like, or you called me and you're like, hey, bro, hey, do you want to make some money this weekend sitting on your couch? I'm literally, when we're done with this, I'm going to be calling my friends back in Frisco, right? Calling my friends in other parts of the country. I'm going to say, hey, how would you like to make money this weekend or earn some free vacations just sitting on your couch this weekend doing nothing? Yeah, sure. How can I do that? Okay. First, great way to get somebody onto one of the Zooms that we're doing today. We're going to be doing them at 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock Eastern, zoomviproom.com. Okay. So you've got two Zooms today. Plus, you also have the brand new presentations that I uploaded, and I'll put them here in the chat. Okay. So you've got them. If you haven't been on Bright Life Blueprint, okay, you can go to whybrightlife.com. Okay. And that is the new presentation. Okay. So that's the brand new presentation that has Orlando in it. It's got the Dubai testimonial from Zeb and Casey on the bucket list trip. So we've got two live testimonials now instead of the written testimonials in the presentation talking about the bucket list. It's a sizzle presentation. It's 20 minutes. It goes through everything. We also have the product only, the membership only one at whatisbrightlife.com. So if you're using it for a business, and you just want to show the membership benefits, there's no to and free. There's no business attached to it. It's just the membership at whatisbrightlife.com. But here's what I'm going to tell you. That one's about 10 minutes. So the full one's 20. The What is Bright Life is 10. Those are brand new presentations, hot off the presses. It's got all the new slides. It's got all the information in it. There are not testimonial videos there's only one in the short one. There are two in the long one, and there's also the Orlando video in the long one. And that's one of the reasons why the old video was about 17 minutes. The new one's about 20, because it's got 3 new videos in it. Okay. So that's one of the reasons why it's a smidge longer, but trust me, it's well worth it. And you've got an opportunity to get those videos in front of people this weekend, because you don't have to ask them where they're at. You don't have to ask them what they're doing. You don't even have to ask for permission to share it with them, because if somebody answers the phone, you could expose them right then and there. You don't have to, if you're not inviting to the 2 or 4, or if it's after the 2 and 4, you can get them. Hey, hey, listen, you want to make some money right now while you're sitting on your butt doing nothing this weekend? Pull up this website and literally have them go to whybrightlife.com and put it in and start play, and then have people available to do third-party validation. So it's a 20-minute video. So say, watch this. I'm going to call you in 20 minutes because it's a 20-minute video, and then have somebody on the phone with you when you call them back. So find somebody to pair up with today to do third party with you. If you don't have somebody on your downline or upline that can do it with you, post in the group. Okay. So go post in the Facebook group right now if you don't have somebody, and say, hey, I need third party validation today. Because here's the thing. Everybody that's on here right now, we've got almost 100 people on here. We're all working. There's 100 of us right here that are working, myself included. I'm working all weekend, even though my weather is not what you guys have. Okay. I've got ocean views there. But I'm working, okay, because the rest of the country is stuck at home. And so what an incredible opportunity to have a captive audience. You may not ever in your life have a more captive audience for your Bright Life business, for somebody that could make money, right? So you could get people excited about making money from their couch. Or, hey, I know you're stuck at home right now. How would you like to go travel shopping with me today? And I can show you how you can actually go on your dream vacation or your bucket list for free. How would you like to come shopping with me? Let's go travel shopping. Because I'm telling you, people are thinking about the beach. They're thinking warm thoughts. They want to get out of the cold. They've got their fireplaces fired up, and they do not want to be sitting there at home. So you're never going to have a more captive audience than you have this weekend. So we've added 2 Zooms to today. You've got 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock Eastern. You've got 9 o'clock tomorrow night. All right. So you've got 9 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night for the next Zoom after the 4 o'clock today. So those are all 3 Eastern time. So 2-4 Eastern today, 2 p.m., 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So you've got 3 Zooms this weekend live, but you've got the videos all weekend. So how many no's can you get? That's what I want the theme of this weekend to be, is go for no. Because I'm convinced that if you get more no's and you get more people in front of the information this weekend, your business is going to explode. And remember, I've taught it in the past and I've talked to you about it. What you do today will not pay you for probably 30, 60, or maybe 90 days. That means that this weekend, you've got an opportunity to put your business on a trajectory over the next 30, 60, 90 days where you can have multiple people hitting Lifer 800 before Orlando, so you can show up in Orlando with your team, not just by yourself, right? Because to me, as a leader, you think, okay, well, I'm registered for Orlando, right? So some of you, and by the way, go ahead and put in the chat, if you have already bought your ticket for Orlando, put me in the chat. So if you've already bought your ticket to Orlando, put me in the chat. And so here's the thing, and this is really like, this is leadership progression, okay? And this is going back to, because I've always been in companies that manage the sales force, manage the teams by event to event, right? You want to keep people engaged. Denson has talked about this every week in the trainings about how important events are to your success. Mike McBay's talked about it. He talked all about it in Miami. And so it looks like I'm telling you, we've already got more tickets sold to Orlando than we have at any event that we've ever done. So it's already going to be the biggest event. But here's the thing. All of you that just said me, how many of you can say that you already have people on your team that also said me or that need to say me, right? Because here's the reality. When I started going to events 30 years ago, when I was working for Cutco runs their events, and they very much manage the sales force from event to event. So when I would go as a new manager, I would always, it's weird and it's crazy, and some of you probably can relate to this. When you're there, I'm always thinking about the people that should have been there, right? Like it's almost like torture. It's like punishment in my mind. I'm thinking, okay, who should have been here this weekend? Who should have been with me? Who should be here? Who am I thinking about? I always came out of all these events with like a hit list. I worked on my hit list. Y'all have heard me talk about my hit list in the past. So always at events, I'm prospecting, I'm recruiting, but I'm also thinking who should have been here, right? I'm like, man, they should have been here. They should have been here. I should have gotten them here. And so it was like torture for myself. And so the evolution of leadership is when you get to an event and all of those people are there. So you're not thinking about the people who should be there. You're thinking about all the people who are there, because it's not just you anymore. That's where you really start seeing the massive increases in your check. Because I tracked it in my World Ventures business, and I could see that over the 60 to 90 days after a World Ventures acceleration, when we started these, we did them every month in a different city in the country. So our top leaders, they were traveling every month to a corporate training every single month. It was wild. But I could track the numbers. I tracked all the numbers, and I've showed this in trainings that I've done. I did my path to 100K mentorship, and I showed my sales numbers, and I used to track it after events. And I could see when I did an event in the 60 days to 90 days after the event, usually if there was somebody at an event, it would represent 5 sales at a minimum. So 5 sales was what's kind of the average in the next 60 days, essentially after an event. So if I had 30 people at an event with me over the next 60 days, my team would produce 150 sales if I had 30 there. If I had 60 there, it would produce over 300 sales. If I had 100 at the training, it would produce 500 sales over the next 60 days. I tracked this for like 6 years. I got a report of everybody from my team who was at the training, and then I would monitor the sales literally in the 30 to 60, 90 days afterwards, and I tracked it all. I have every single day my sales plotted on my team. I did it for like 5 or 6 years before finally I was just like, this is crazy. The numbers were too big, and I could see exactly what would happen when people came to the events. And so this weekend, you have an opportunity not only to work with your teams, your existing teams, but recruiting your future team members, talking to people about the business, getting them on this training, right? So if you get people signed up today, I would have them go watch this training. It'll be posted. It'll be the last YouTube video on our channel. So this will be posted within the hour of us finishing this. And so you've got this training. You could have them go watch and listen and understand exactly what we're talking about and understand the mindset and see this special opportunity with the weather of people being at home and wanting to be on the beach, thinking warm thoughts, wanting to make money. I mean, who wouldn't want to make money sitting on their couch all weekend? They're going to be sitting here anyways, watching TV, doing useless stuff. They might as well be making money. So you shouldn't just be calling your prospects. You should be calling your team too and talking about 100 to 800. What can I do? How can I help you get to 800? Because as soon as we get those 100 people to Life for 800, we're going to be on a different trajectory as a company, where we are as far as our base leadership and this incredible event that we're going to have that's going to build culture and vision in Orlando or Florida, wherever we wind up doing this special activity, maybe right outside of Orlando. But I'm just telling you, this is a special opportunity because here's the thing. You can get a hold of everybody this weekend. You're not going to have another weekend where you've got this kind of an opportunity. So what I want to do now is I want to show you exactly what I've been doing step by step since I moved to Sarasota. All right. And so what I want to do is I want to tell you why I think this is so important and how you could literally launch your business this weekend to a whole nother level, because everybody else on this training right now is not living in a new city that they just moved to 2 weeks ago. I'm the only one to my knowledge, unless there's somebody else on here that moved 2 weeks ago also. Congratulations for surviving. Moving is like the most annoying and stressful and painful thing you could probably go through. And so if somebody else did, congratulations. But here's what I want to tell you, okay? I moved to Sarasota on December 29th. Okay. I moved into and what's crazy is Zeb and Casey helped me because I'm here in Sarasota. They live here. My truck got here. All right. We literally, Zeb and I and people that were helping me move, literally unloaded all my crap into the middle of my place. Okay. And the next day I left for Miami. So I literally left. I walked out and I had already packed a suitcase for Miami because I went to Miami for the Orange Bowl that Texas Tech played in, because my brother and all my family went to Texas Tech. And so my brother got tickets to the game. So he invited me. So I left literally within, I think Zeb and I probably finished the last boxes at like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. And like the next morning, I was on the road to Miami. So I moved in and then immediately left. I was in Miami for 5 days, came back, was here for 2, and then went back to Miami for our event. And so I've literally slept in my place. Like, I think I'm up to like 11 nights. Okay. But let me tell you what's happened in this area since I moved here. And here's what you should know. I have never in my life been to where I moved. Okay. I got my place sight unseen. It's a brand new building. I'm the first one that's moved into my place. I wanted to have ocean views. I wanted to be close to the water. And I wanted to have amenities. We're going to be doing events here at my building. And so that's why I chose this place. And here's what's crazy. I got it sight unseen. I'd never even been to downtown Sarasota in my life. So I didn't know anybody here other than Zeb and Casey happen to live here. Okay. And then I have another friend, David Hughes, who those of you who were in Orlando and Miami last year, David has spoken at 2 of our events. David and Katie Marie are incredible people. And so here's what I want to explain to you. I randomly knew 2 people here. Okay. I don't know where anything is. So, and I've been walking most places around here because I'm living in downtown. So my building's right here. I've got everything close. But here's the thing. I didn't care. I didn't wait and go, well, when is somebody going to get together and do meetings? And when's somebody going to start doing a meeting for me? And I wish some people would come. I wish Wes would come to my city. I wish somebody would come do meetings for me. I don't really know anybody here. I don't have any Bright Life nights in my area. Look, I just said I already put Tampa on the Super Saturday schedule because I know I'm going to have a team here. I know things are going to blow up here because I am committed. I'm going to do the meetings, whether 2 people show up, 10 people show up, 20 people show up, because I've done this for my entire career. I started about 15 different markets like this when I started World Ventures back in 2005. Okay. I started doing a meeting in San Antonio, Texas. And you guys, some of you have heard my trainings. You've heard me talk about this. This is crazy. Okay. I started a meeting in San Antonio. I moved to San Antonio during the recession. Okay. I bought an investment property, a foreclosure. All right. I moved to San Antonio. I didn't know anybody in San Antonio. All right. I moved there, started from scratch. I got introduced to a couple in San Antonio from a buddy of mine because I made a post just like I made in my Facebook page. Some of you may have seen it. I posted about, it's probably been about 10 days ago. Here, I'll show you. Because here's the thing, it's like there's so many gurus and so many people that are like, oh, yeah, do this or do that and follow my step by step system. And let me sell you some course and let me sell you some class. And it's a bunch of crap and they don't do it and it doesn't work and they're not really doing it. All of these things that I'm teaching you, I'm doing and I've done it. Okay, so here it was, January 14th. So literally 10 days ago. All right. I posted it on here when I was back from Miami. So I literally posted this the day I got back from Miami this day. And I put, who do I know? Not do I know? I put who lives in Tampa, Sarasota area. Okay. I did this exact same thing in 2000 and it was either the end of 2008 or the first part of 2009. I can't remember when I bought that house in San Antonio, but I didn't know anybody there. Okay. So I posted the same exact post on Facebook, and this was early Facebook days, but I said, who do you know in San Antonio? So one of my buddies, Mike Wallach, who went to Trinity, a college in San Antonio, responded and said, hey, I know this couple, Raymond and Janie Braun. They live in San Antonio. I do real estate stuff with them. I'll introduce you. I was like, perfect, awesome. Well, Mike was a member of World Ventures. And so when I reached out, he gave me Raymond and Janie's phone number. I went to lunch with them and I said, hey, I just moved here. I'm going to be starting a team here. I'm going to be doing a weekly meeting every Thursday night, rain or shine. I'm going to do it every Thursday. And back then we did hotel meetings because I didn't realize what I know now about why public meetings and happy hours and food and drinks and restaurants are so much better and easier. And we can talk about some of that in just a minute. But I went and had lunch with them and I told them I'm going to do this Thursday meeting and I'm going to do it every week. And they said, okay, cool. We've never done network marketing before, but we'll come and we'll sign up and we'll commit to being there on Thursday nights. So they committed to being there on Thursday nights. So I got a room at the Holiday Inn Airport in San Antonio, Texas, in 2008-9. Okay, on Thursday night at 6:30. Start at 7. Arrive at 6:30. Start at 7. This is back when we used to only do hotel meetings. I did this in 15 other cities approximately. Okay. We started the first week, and I remember we probably had, and it was very small, and we used like a conference room at first. They had this like 10-person conference room, maybe 20. And with that very first meeting, I think we maybe had 7 or 8 people because I had met a couple of other people. I started going to some networking events. I'm going to give you my blueprint in just a minute, what I started doing. And I had like 7 or 8 people. It was Raymond and Janie, me, and Gianna's mom, and like 2 or 3 guests. Right, that was it. That was the very first meeting in San Antonio. But I signed a 6-week contract with that hotel, and I had to pay. I think I probably paid for that conference room 150 or $200. So I basically committed $200. I had to have a projector. I had to bring my own screen and projector. I brought it every week. And I did it every week. So the first week, it was like 7, 8 people. Next week, it was probably still 7, 8, 9, 10 people, but maybe a couple new ones. Then the next week, it was like 12 or 15. And then the next week, it was like 20. And then the next week, it was like over 20. And then by week 6, we had to move out of that conference room. We were like packed in there. We had to move to another room at the Holiday Inn that held about 80 people ish. Okay, so we moved into another room, and I think I had to probably pay like $350 or $250 or something for this 100-person, 80-person room. And then it started getting up to 30, 40, 50 over that 6th, 7th, 8th week. Okay, here's what's wild. Okay, that Thursday night San Antonio meeting that I started in 2008 or 2009 is still happening for the company that team went to after World Ventures went out of business. They still do it every Thursday. Just in case you're new here, it's 2026. That Thursday night meeting that I started in 2009 has been happening for 17 15 years. Raymond and Janie Braun became $1 million earners in World Ventures. They had never done network marketing before. San Antonio became one of the biggest markets in the entire World Ventures company. And they still are making a six-figure income off that team at another company on autopilot because that meeting still happens every Thursday night. That is wild. Okay. But what I want to show you is that if you build it, they will come. If you have not seen Field of Dreams, okay, for those, if there's, I know we've got some youngins on here. Those of you that are older than me, you've seen it, I'm sure. If you've not, after you're done with your inviting this weekend, later at night when you're out of your primetime activities, go watch Field of Dreams, okay? Because this should put it in your head to remind you that you can't wait on other people to build your platform, to build your market, to build your business, to grow your business. So many times people like sit around and it's like, well, when's somebody gonna come help me? When is Wes gonna come to Hoochie Coochie, Kentucky, or Jim Bob's Way, Ohio, or whatever. Like people have these thoughts in their head, like they need somebody to come start it. They need to know people. They're not from here. They don't know people. They don't know people that do this. They've used up all their contacts. I don't have anybody to call. I've done MLM before. All my friends have already heard about this or seen this. I've heard all the excuses throughout my career, but over the last 10 days, okay, I've now done 3 events here in Sarasota and Tampa. And I'm going to walk you through. This is real, people, okay? Like I said, you can go pay your gurus and go get your ebooks and go get your classes and go get somebody step by step to making bullshit millionaire money or whatever. I'm going to tell you exactly what it takes and exactly what it looks like. I'm going to show you exactly what I did. So I made the post on January 14th. You saw it. And if you didn't see, 14 people replied. Okay. So that's obviously a start because 14 people replied to it right there on the post. Okay. And so this is an area I had never even set foot here. I didn't know anyone in downtown Sarasota where I lived. But I scheduled my events. I found a place to do my first Bright Life Night in Sarasota. David Marquez, who's one of our members in Tampa, and Chris Almeida, who live in Tampa, we put together an event in Tampa. And so that first week, literally, as soon as I got home from Miami, I did a Wednesday night. Did I do Wednesday or Thursday? I did Wednesday or Thursday, the exact week that I got back from Miami. I didn't let any time go by. See, here's the other thing. You've got this opportunity right now in front of you. Your people are sitting around doing nothing. You've got people that would literally do what you tell them because they have nothing else to do. And so I didn't wait. This isn't like, people get like in planning mode or strategy mode. It's like, we need to get together and have a meeting about the meetings, to plan the meetings and lay the meetings out. And we need to do a Zoom to talk about what we want to do. I'd really like to do some business with you. I'd like to get a Bright Life Night going in my market. Well, let's get together next week and we'll strategize how we can do a Bright Life Night. No, I literally called about 3 or 4 restaurants in downtown Sarasota. And I said, hey, I'm looking to do a business networking event. It's going to be small at first. I just need a table or two, preferably by a TV. If I could hook to a TV, it'd be great. If not, I've got a portable monitor that I can bring in. No big deal. I found this taco place literally 3 blocks from my house. And I set it up for that Wednesday or Thursday, literally 2 days after I'm back from Miami. And it's me and Casey because Zeb was out of town. So, and David Hughes, my other Sarasota contact that I knew, because when I moved here, I knew 3 people. So obviously I invited all 3 of them to be there. Zeb was out of town. Casey was there, but Casey brought 2 guests. So here is the very first meeting in Sarasota. That night, Casey, me, and 2 guests. But here's what's crazy. We had a good time. We ate tacos. We had a couple drinks. And both of those guests that came that first night are now in the business. And maybe even on here. I don't know. Zeb's on here. I don't know if Tristan, Phil's probably not on here. So Tristan and Phil signed up, our first 2 people in Sarasota. And we signed up 2 out of 2. Okay. So but some people would go, so I have a friend who's a really successful entrepreneur. And he came to one of our meetings in Dallas. And at that meeting, we probably had I don't know, 15 or 20 people. And he goes, Wes, he goes, is this really a good use of your time to do this meeting? You're the CEO, you're the founder of the company. Is this a good use of your time to you drove an hour? Because I would drive an hour each way to do the foundation or meeting. So drive an hour there, drive an hour back, 15 or 20 people there, maybe five or six guests or whatever it was. And my buddy came and he's a really successful guy. He runs big companies and he goes, is that really a good use of your time to do this meeting? I mean, there's like 15 people here. Like you could be doing and impacting and be online or whatever. And I go, but here's the thing. If I don't do this, how can I expect or ask my people to do this? Because if I'm too good to do it or I don't do it, you think that they're going to do it? And so I did that meeting in Dallas. We've done it for a year and a half. We've been doing a Thursday night event in Dallas for since we launched. And I did the first year's worth of Zooms before Denson started helping me. And I did every training every Saturday. And we did a training every Saturday. I did every Saturday training. I did every Zoom, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I did every Thursday night meeting in Dallas for over a year until Mike started helping me with the meetings in Dallas. But the thing is that I know what it takes. See, because I've already seen it. I know it works. You can't tell me that it doesn't work because it's already working again here in Sarasota. So then Friday night, I go to Tampa. Chris Almeida comes with two guests, and Chris is maybe on here. If you are Chris, have you already gotten sales, if you're on here, Chris, from that Tampa meeting? David Marquez, who was DJing at this place, so we piggybacked off of that. So he had literally people coming all night. I didn't there. It was at the Tampa Tap Room. Yeah, Zeb just said Zeb came with me. Here's the thing, and this is what I want to tell you guys because Zeb and I drove an hour and 45 minutes to get to this place. I did not realize how far it was, and it was at 6 o'clock, 6:30. So we drove in 5 o'clock traffic on Friday in Tampa, which sucked. And the drivers here in Florida are terrible, by the way. So one bad thing about being in Florida, traffic, drivers, because people here do not know how to drive. So thank God we don't have the ice and snow that you have because I don't even know what would happen because they're already bad. I don't even know what would happen if we had that weather here in Florida. But an hour and 45 minutes there. But we were there like all night because David kept bringing people. The owner of the bar signed up. Some of the new people that came through David. I wound up presenting to. In fact, I have a photo here that Zeb sent me. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about because, like I said, it is really easy for people to say it and to preach it and to charge for it and to sell it in some course or ebook or whatever. You got all these experts. So here's the photo of me and Zeb and Chris and his guests. And these are some of and then Tristan came, who's our new member from Sarasota. So Tristan came from Sarasota too. He drove an hour and 45 minutes. And so then David Marquez, who was DJing, was bringing people to me all night. Okay. So we were there for I think we were there for like 3 hours. Okay. And here's what else is crazy. Okay. And this is the thing. It's such a God thing, right? Because while we were there, a guy comes in and Zeb can verify. This is crazy. So a guy comes in and he literally told me, he goes, I'm going to name my kid after you. I was like, what? What are you talking about? He's not in this photo because he came after this photo was taken, I'm pretty sure. He's one of David Marquez's buddies. He was in World Ventures, okay? And he took his now wife on one of their first dates on a dream trip, okay? And then I did a contest in World Ventures and he won one of the trips to Mexico. And so it was a contest I gave away. And this was like I don't even know. He didn't even say, like maybe like 2013, 14, 15, something like that. And he said, yeah, you gave away a trip to Mexico and she and I went on it and I proposed on that trip. And now we're married and we're going to have a baby. And I think I should name my kid after you because if it wasn't for you we went on our first date on a dream trip and then I proposed on a World Ventures trip that you gave away. And I'm like, look, this is wild because these are the things that happen when you have faith and belief. But see, here's the thing, faith and belief without action, it doesn't equal anything, right? You could have as much faith or belief as you want. But if you don't have any action, if you don't do anything with it, if you don't step outside the box, if you don't start doing something and inviting and talking to people and using the 3 foot rule and some of the things we're going to talk about here in just a minute, it doesn't do you any good. You're never going to have these things happen to you. So that night, we sign up more people. And then I schedule more events for Sarasota because I live here. I'm not going to drive 2 hours every week. So David and Edwin, our other new guy there, are going to start doing a meeting probably in St. Pete that I can plug into. But the Zoom meetings today, are 2 and 4 Eastern. So 2 and 4 Eastern today are the Zooms today. We're going to do this training for about another hour, and you're going to have about an hour to invite. Okay. So somebody just asked about that. So here's the thing. If faith and belief without action equals no results. Okay. So we did that meeting on that Friday night. Okay. Signed up more people there. Then we come to Wednesday night in Sarasota. And on Wednesday night at the same taco place where it was just 3 of us the week before, or me plus 3, we had at the end of the night, because we had a group come in late, but I think we wound up with 14 people. Okay, so week 1 in a city I don't know anybody in, okay, I've never lived in before, we have 3, 4 including me. Then on Friday night, we probably in Tampa, because of David and Chris and their invites, we exposed probably at least 12 or 15 that night, all in. I had to do the presentation many different times, and this guy who was trying to, was buying me shots, and like it was like I was running around all over the place, and David was introducing me to everybody. But we've signed up more people from that. Now we've got some stuff happening in Tampa and St. Pete. And then Wednesday, we have, I think, probably 12, 13-ish people all in that came into the taco place on Wednesday night. So I set up this week for Taco Tuesday because I was flying to Dallas on Wednesday. So I moved the meeting to Tuesday. And then Sean, one of my new guys here in Sarasota, who David Hughes signed up, he came to I met him at a men's Bible study, which I'm going to tell you about in just a second, because I'm about to show you my blueprint, what else I've been doing, how this happened. So Sean brought people, but he had people that have a church thing on Tuesday night. So he said, can I do one on Monday? I said, yeah, for sure. Let's come to my place. So Monday night here at my place at the common area, we're going to be doing one in Sarasota at 7 o'clock. Okay. And then on Tuesday night, we're going to be back at the taco place. So I'm doing Monday and Tuesday, and I'm going to do it for whoever shows up. I don't care if it's 1, 2, 10, 20, 50. I don't care. It's about getting in a rhythm. It's about committing to it. It's about doing it rain, snow, sleet, or shine. It's about doing it for the people who show up and not worrying about the people who don't. But here's the thing. How did more people show up? Because we went from 3 to 14 in 1 week in Sarasota in a place that I haven't been in. So I'm going to walk you through and show you. All right. So here's where you want to write this down. These are the things that I did following that first, who do I know in Tampa or Sarasota? Okay. So these are the things that I did. All right. I joined, there are several, okay? And I would suggest to all of you that you join them, go look for them. But there are several travel interest pages on social media, on Facebook, okay? So find ones that fit you or what you're looking for or interests, okay? But I joined several travel pages, and I made a post about I'm looking to travel to these places over the next year, looking for people that want to travel with me to these places. And I made these posts, okay? And my friend request box blew up. I had people from all over. So I've got conversations going now. It's hard to keep up with the DMs because I've done all of this activity. Here's the thing though. For those of you that are listening to me and you live in the place you've always lived or you've been living, okay, these are extra activities that I'm teaching you to do this weekend because you're home doing nothing else, right? But here's the thing. You don't need to do this right now because you can just literally pick up your phone and start inviting and calling the people who live in your area. And this weekend, it doesn't matter. Anybody in your phone is open game. I'm not going to spend time this weekend going through just Sarasota people, just Florida people that have been responding to all these things I'm about to share with you. I'm going to be talking to everybody that I know that lives north of me. Why? Because of what I just told you. I know if I, like, I've got a buddy who I've been trying to recruit who lives in Philly, and I know he's at home right now because he lives in Philly and he ain't going anywhere. And so I don't know, it's probably 0 degrees there and snowing. And he has a daughter. So I'm calling him and I know he's home. So he better answer my phone call. But here's the thing, I'm going to be doing the same things that I'm telling you to do. And so you shouldn't be doing these things I'm about to show you until after all of your inviting is done. We're going to talk about getting no's in just a minute and how important this is. Okay. But it's really important that you realize that I'm showing you what I did to just get immediate activity and traction in a place that I've never lived in. And so if you're in a place where you have lived and you know people, you've got no excuses. You got no reason why you shouldn't be doing a Bright Life Night in your market and starting somewhere, even if it's 1 or 2 people. And here's the thing, you don't have to do the presentation. Okay. You can show the video. That first week when I sat down with Phil and Tristan with Casey at the taco place, I could have easily pushed play. I used my laptop. I could have literally pushed play on there and we could have sat there while we were eating and drinking and watched the video right on my laptop. Simple, easy. You don't have to do a presentation. People are like, well, I don't know how to present. Well, man, I don't have Wes. That's Wes. He can present. No, I'm fine pushing play. I'm totally fine with it. In fact, I taught all my team that San Antonio meeting when I moved from San Antonio a couple years later. They were showing videos often, right? Because Raymond and Janie would be traveling, so they would present sometimes. I would present sometimes, but then when we were gone, we'd show the video in a hotel meeting. So somebody would come in, do a testimonial, do an introduction. We'd push play in that meeting, and we'd have 100 people watching a video. They don't know. They don't know what's supposed to happen. They don't know how it's supposed to go. So however you do it is how they're going to do it and how they expect it's going to be done. So you don't have to do a live presentation. You can show the video at any of these places. So here's some of the other things that I did. So I joined travel groups. Okay. I also started going to a new church. Obviously, I'm in a new place. And it just so happened that a pastor who had been at my church in Dallas previously is the pastor. And look, this is the thing, guys. To me, once again, faith, belief, but with action, things happen. So I want to be involved in church regardless. This is not for business. This is me. This is part of my life. I love Sundays. I've been going to church my entire life. For the last 20 years in Dallas, I've been going to the same church. We have multiple campuses. So I went to one campus for 15 years until the other one was built 6 years ago. And I've gone to it for the last 6. Okay. And I was part of a men's Bible study. So those are 2 important things to me that were part of my life. And several people from that Bible study are members of Bright Life. I've signed them up and they're guys that I play golf with and they're guys that I hang out with. And so, this is who you hang out with and who you associate with. And so if you're talking to people about what you do and you're engaging and you're involved in the community, this is a great way to meet people. Okay. So started going to new church. So I've been twice because I've only been here 2 Sundays. So, but what's crazy is the pastor of this church, First Sarasota, that I could almost hit it with a rock from my balcony. It's 3 blocks from my house. He worked at my church, ran the new campus, the Frisco campus, when it opened in 2019. And he and his family moved back to Florida, where they were originally from, to take over this church in Sarasota that I wound up moving 3 blocks from. I had no idea. I saw that he was in Sarasota. So when I got here, I said I was looking for a church. I messaged him. He told me where it was. I was like, oh my gosh, that's 3 blocks from my house. I can walk there. So I have the shortest church commute I've ever had in my life. So last 2 Sundays, I've been there. So then David Hughes got me connected to a men's group. It's like a devotional Bible study group that is a group of men that meets every other Tuesday. So I've gone to church the last 2 Sundays, gone to the men's event the last two Tuesdays that they've done it. So I've gone to both of them. Zeb's gone with me to one of those. So, and so I met people at the Bible study. And here's what else is crazy. When I was at the men's Bible study, the first night, 2 weeks ago, in my group, and like I said, I'm just telling you, these are the things that happen to you when you step outside and you do things and you get involved and you get active. In my group, we broke up into small groups and there was 5 of us. Of the 5, this is crazy, and I just, there's no coincidences, right? But of the 5 guys in my small group at my men's Bible study, because about 50 of us, Um, so it's me plus four. All four of them do network marketing. Two of them are like high six figure, one a seven figure earner in network marketing. One of the four said that before I had even spoken, because I actually went last, so we went around and said who we were, introduced ourselves, and we were supposed to talk in this men's group about things we can do to support each other. So verbatim, this is what he says to me, to the group. Okay, the second guy who spoke in my group of five, he said, "I have a really successful business. I do coaching for people in a certain industry, and my business is exploding." And I have people that want to get involved and work with me. And I really think that I need to meet somebody who knows how to build compensation structures for affiliate marketing or network marketing, because my business is growing and I know it could be bigger because I have all these people that want to work with me. And so if any of you know anybody who has that type of experience, could you introduce me? And I just smiled because I've been doing this for 30 years. I've started a billion-dollar network marketing company. I built one of the biggest teams in the history of the entire industry, 365,000 people. And the guy literally like almost fell over. Whenever I got to me, I was like, I could probably show you a thing or two. And so that is where I met Sean. So now Sean is in. Sean is not that guy who spoke, but I met Sean through the Bible study. Now I've been back, and now more guys came. So of the 13, 14 that came to Sarasota this last week, 6 or 7 of them came from the Bible study. Okay. Then I also joined new to Sarasota, new to Florida, moving to Florida, relocating to Florida. I love Tampa. I love Sarasota. I joined all these groups on Facebook. Okay. Now, I want to show you one of my posts. All right. So you can see here, this is on January 15th. So this whole time I'm doing all this other stuff, going to church, going to Bible study, joining networking groups. I'm looking around Sarasota for different networking activities and things I can do. So this is January 15th. So I'm back home from Miami. This is what I'm saying about immediate action, right? Because there's going to be people on here, and I love that somebody asked when the meetings were, because it tells me that whoever just asked that probably was sitting here and is like, I'm already sending out text. Like some of you may be sitting here, and I hope you're listening, but there's going to be some of you that are immediate action type people. And they're like, well, if Wes is going to be doing a Zoom at 2, I need to get people on there right now. And that's great. But here's the thing, right? I got home from Miami on the 13th. I'm moving. Okay. I literally walk into a place that I couldn't even see any of the walls. I had no clothes because everything was in boxes. So you remember, I get home from Miami. I have everything in boxes. I'd only slept here 2 nights. I only got into boxes to find things that I needed for my Miami trip. Because the first Miami trip for the tech game, I was already packed. And so I'd only gotten home at this point when I posted all, and I joined all these groups, and I'm doing all this. And this is what I'm doing in my downtime, by the way. I'm doing this late at night because I'm like I can't sleep, or if I get up early, I'm an early riser. So I'm posting these things. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I posted this at like probably 6 a.m. on January 15th. So I'd been home from Miami less than 48 hours. I was out recruiting and building, doing the same things that I taught you guys in Miami. I'm in a new place. I've never lived here before. I don't know anybody. And I posted on here, just moved to Sarasota. I own a travel sports entertainment company looking for people who want to travel, go to concerts, music festivals, do yacht trips, or play golf. I'm looking to meet new people all over the area that want to join in on the fun. Now, that was I joined like 10 of these groups, and Tampa Golf, Sarasota Golf, I love golf in Florida, like 10 different groups, okay? And I posted basically the same thing in all 10 of those groups, okay? And you can see on here that there are 22 comments, okay? And most of them, by the way, and everybody's been super friendly. I love that. It's the South. People are friendly here. And so some of the comments are I'm interested. I'm moving there in May. Some of them are like, wow, can I work for you or can I do what you do? Some of them are, I'd love to play golf. I like yachts. I like travel. How do we do that? How does it work? Okay. So, literally, immediately, and this is just one of, and I did this in every group, right? So, I'm literally, I mean, it's crazy. My Facebook, I can't even keep up with all of the messages and all of the DMs. It's like it's just insane. I can't keep up. It's literally crazy. But here's the thing, guys. This is I'm taking action, right? Like I said, faith and belief don't matter if there's no action attached to it. And like I said, you don't need to do all of these things right now as soon as we get off of here because everybody on here is in a place where you know people where you live and you have not gone through all of your contacts, right? But if I know I'm starting a live event in Sarasota, how else is it going to grow if I'm not getting out there and meeting people and networking? Okay. So I joined the travel buddy groups, find people that like to travel, find travel partners, find people that want to go on trips, all of these different groups. Okay. I'm in all of these new Facebook groups. I've also found two different networking events. One's kind of like a BNI type thing. Another one is a like a Chamber of Commerce type like networking event that's happening on the I think I registered for it at RSVP. I think it's maybe February 4th or something like that. So they do it like once a month. So these things are things you can do in your local area, even in the area that you're from. If you haven't joined the chamber or gone to the chamber meetings, or you're not going to business networking meetings, and ladies, it's so much easier for all of you because they have women's networking groups, but you can go to all of them, right? So you get double because there's all these women's groups. I actually joined a couple of women's networking groups in Tampa and Sarasota. I don't know if they let me into all of them, but I was like, hey, why not, right? I mean, but here's the thing: there's all these women's groups as well that that you can get into, the ladies, and they do these events all over the place. And it's a great way to meet people. It's a great way to network. And this is you're honing your skills. You're getting out of your comfort zone. And here's the thing: you don't even need to do this because all of you have people in your phone, hundreds, if not thousands of people that you've never even showed this to, that are all trapped at home over the next 4 or 5 days that you could be exposing and inviting to. So how many no's have you gotten, right? And so I want to shift gears a little bit here and talk about the action that needs to take place, because I can sit here and talk about this all day and I've got some more tips for you, but I want you to know and understand that it's not about the yeses. It's about getting through the contacts, getting through to the no's, because all of those people that messaged me or that commented on my post, I've already responded to all of them. I've responded to all of them. And so I invited some of them to the happy hour. I've got two people from one of the Sarasota posts coming on Monday night. I have two people, two guys that I've connected with that want to play golf. And so I didn't know what I was doing if I was going to be in Texas for the Super Saturday. So now that I'm not going to be in Texas for the Super Saturday, I have two guys that have already said, hey, I want to play golf. And I'm going to use golf as a way to recruit. And obviously, we're playing 18 holes. We're going to be together for 3 hours. I don't have to talk about the business now. I don't have to say anything about what I do. I'm just looking for guys that want to play golf. And I'm doing a golf presentation. You guys will see it. I've been working on it all week, but I've been doing all this other stuff and obviously, getting adjusted and moved in, and my daughter's situated. And so, I'm working on a golf presentation. So I should have that out in a recorded version of it, probably in the next 2 or 3 days. It's almost done, but I will need to record it and then get it uploaded. I'm doing these activities and I'm getting involved locally. New church, new Bible study, all this stuff. These are things that you can do, but you've got hundreds, if not thousands of people that you've not gotten no's from. So I'm going to process the no's. I'm going to sift through the no's. So I've got two people coming from one of the posts to my place on Monday. I've got one or two already confirmed for my happy hour on Tuesday. I'm just going to get as many no's as I can get, because people think it's about the yeses. The people that win in this business, and Denson is a prime example. of people who have been doing this for a long time, and he knows that it's a numbers game, right? He knows that it's about getting the no's. See, people think that it's about getting yeses in this business, like finding your ace. And yeah, that's good, find an ace. But here's the thing, you're never going to find aces if you're not getting the no's. Like, you've got to process the no's. That means that you've got to call more people. You've got to, how many people can you call this weekend? And in fact, I'm going to put out a little challenge. Okay. And I'm going to put out a challenge for between now and tomorrow night's Zoom. So basically, you've got, little under 48 hours. Okay. But you got 3 Zooms. Okay. And you've got the recorded presentation. I'm going to challenge somebody. I don't know if somebody can do it or not. I could do it, but I think you should make a point to get to 50 no's as fast as possible. Can you get to 50 no's? How long is it going to take you to get to 50 no's? Whether you print out a sheet of paper from Excel with 50 boxes on it and you just check a box or clip a box or mark a box or whatever, or if you just do a sheet and you do an X or you do a line or a dash or whatever, every time you get a no. And here's the thing, I'm going to challenge you guys to get to 50 no's. How long is it going to take you? Somebody could do it in the next 48 hours. You could get 50 no's. Because here's the thing, if you get 50 no's, I guarantee you, you're basically lifer 800. Okay. So if you get to 50 no's, you're essentially almost guaranteed to be lifer 800. In fact, I challenge you to get to 50 no's and not be at lifer 800. So if you knew, Wes said that if I get 50 no's, then I'll be lifer 800. Then when would now be a good time to get to 50 no's, right? Why wait? It's like, what are you waiting for? I've said it over and over again. Fast is fun, slow sucks. It really does. This business sucks when it's going slow. But right now it's going fast. Denson and I have been talking almost every day. We've been doing 3-way calls. Aaron and Ashley putting me on the phone with people. In fact, Aaron had me on multiple calls yesterday. Aaron had to put in like 9 sales yesterday to hit lifer 1600 by midnight. And she put in her 9th sale at like 11 p.m. last night, 10:30 p.m. last night. She was committed. And so you get to 50 no's, you're going to get to lifer 800. So if you want to be one of the 100 to 800, I'm telling you, if you get to 50 no's, you're going to be at lifer 800 because what you're doing will duplicate and rub off on your team. So if you get 50 no's, you're going to get 2 or 3 or 4 yeses. Worst case scenario, you could be really bad at this. And you're still going to probably get to lifer 300 just by your personals. And then if anybody duplicates, boom, you're already lifer 800. If you could get one person on your left to lifer 300 and one person on your right to lifer 300, now you're lifer 800. If you can get one lifer 800 on your left and one lifer 800 on your right, you're automatically lifer 1600. Right? So that was part of Aaron's plan. Ashley's basically lifer 800. So she got somebody basically one sale away from lifer 800. She has a lifer 800 on her right side. So she's lifer 1600. There you go. It's that simple. And so I'm telling you, it's about putting in the work and getting the no's. And the sooner you get to those 50 no's, the sooner you get to lifer 800. But I'm telling you, there are going to be people on here that, once again, don't take action. And it's just statistics. Okay. Don't take this personal. I'm not being mean to you. I'm not mad at you. There will be people that spent the last hour and 26 minutes on here, and then they'll put their notes away. They'll go turn the TV on when we're done, turn the TV on, and they won't do any of this. I mean, but I'm telling you, somebody could get to 50 no's this weekend, and they're going to hit lifer 800. And I mean, they're going to put in sales, and we're going to do some stuff this week to pour gas on the fire. We've given away a ton of money. We've done a ton of contests and promotions. We gave away a bucket list trip to the guys going to Japan. We gave away the most bucket list trips this month that we've ever given away in a single month. Tana's going to be posting a whole bunch of new people that just got their bucket list trips. So you're going to be able to see those and share those. If you haven't shared my video, there's so many things that we've been doing and talking about that are adding gas on the fire. So many people are doing Bright Life Nights. We're going to recognize people tomorrow night that did Bright Life Nights. So if you did a Bright Life Night this week, please make sure you send Denson or I a message so we can promote you and recognize you tomorrow night. I saw a bunch of them posted. That was what we asked people to do. But I know there were others I heard word. And I don't see every post. I mean, you guys have been great in the group. I asked you in Miami to be posting at least once a week something travel related. I asked everybody to go review the app. I noticed several new reviews on the App Store for Apple. If you've not reviewed the app, please do that. Please post anytime you use the membership, anytime you get savings, anytime you book a hotel, please post it in both groups. So the members only group and then also the ATM group. The ATM group, just so you understand which is which, that's the Bright Life Insider. So the Bright Life Insider is the testimonial page. That's for all testimonials. That's all we use that page for. That's add tag message. You add somebody who wants to window shop and see if it's real or is skeptical or whatever. We talked about this in Miami. And then you have the Bright Life members only group. We want you to post your testimonials. If you've not done that, please go do that today. When you're joining all these other groups and doing all this other stuff we talked about during your downtime, after you're done inviting and you've got your nose and you've got people on the Zooms today, how many people can we get on these Zooms? We know that everybody in our phones is at home. How many people can we get on these Zooms today? Because everybody is a captive audience. You should be able to have more guests on these 2 Zooms today than you've ever had before. And somebody...
Hey, Wes,
yeah.
I want to add something because you're on such a roll. I can't get a word in.
Yeah, sorry. I had my pre-workout. I had my pre-workout.
But check this out. When I started with Wonderful, for instance, okay, she got 50 no's day one. Okay, she went through 50 no's day one. But what did that do? I remember her putting me on the phone with a gentleman named Pastor Rick. So Pastor Rick gets in and man, he just, blew up just out of nowhere. So he is like one person away, I think, from 800 now, in a few weeks. Okay. 3 or 4 weeks. Well, that shows you the power of that. Okay. You can't focus. It's just like the card deck that we talk about. If you got 4 aces in the deck, you could go through 48 cards before you get to that one ace. Well, you might flip one card and get an ace, or it might take you 48. So, guys, look, this is such a great point. Get 50 no's, because if you get 50 no's, you're going to get a couple of aces, and that's all that it takes here. So, Wes, I couldn't stand myself, man. I had to break in because that is so significant.
Well, and here's the thing, Denson, is people don't realize, you've been doing this for so long, and you've seen what it takes to get the results. And people think, my business isn't really growing. It's not really moving. It's not really popping. What do you think that really causes it to happen? Because you've got several teams now that are getting traction and getting sales. And we've had 2 of our biggest sales weeks in company history over the last couple of weeks. We've got almost 100 people now on this training. The numbers have continued to grow. Since we started this. What do you think causes that? I mean, you've seen it throughout your career.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, one reason, like you guys know, that number one, I never miss a webinar. Okay. I mean, I do a lot of the webinars, but even if I'm not doing it, I never miss a webinar. And I see some leaders that, you'll get on some webinars, and some webinars, most of them you may not get on. Well, whatever you do in this business, it's a business of duplication. Understand, your people are going to duplicate whatever you do. So if it's not important enough for me to get on, what do I expect my group to do? They won't be here, right? So that's the first thing, okay, is I plug into everything as far as the event system. Now, think about it. An event is what? It's a webinar, okay? So that's number one. You got to be plugged into those. The second event is your local Bright Life night, okay, or even a home travel party. Those are events. And then Super Saturdays are events that you build up to. And then what are we doing? We're building up to the destination event, which we've got that event system that's already built into what we do. So if I get 2 people and I've got them plugged in effectively, guess what? They're going to stick. They're not going to be here today and gone tomorrow. Okay. They're going to be long term. So that's very important that you do that. So what I do is this, okay. I've always been willing to do what most people won't do, so I can enjoy the success that they don't. Okay. That's kind of been my motto. So most people aren't willing to go and work with their people. Well, You know what? We can do a lot on webinars, but the reason I go into markets, like I did in Memphis when we first started, like I'm doing in Dallas right now, is because I want to develop relationships. People will quit businesses, but they're not going to quit relationships as quickly. Okay, so I've been to Dallas twice, and we spent quality time together the first time. Keith Shoemaker, which Keith just promoted yesterday to Life for 300. Congratulations, Keith. And wonderful, and her husband Mike, we spent time together that first time. We didn't have a lot of people at the meeting, but we spent quality time together. Well, the next time I went back, I got a chance to meet Pastor Rick, his wife Yolanda, and look at this, Wes. They got a Mexican restaurant, which is the largest Mexican restaurant, most incredible restaurant I've ever seen on that side. And guess what? They did a meeting that day, which was like 20 people, did another meeting that night in the Mexican restaurant. They had 30 people there. And what has happened? These people have plugged into the webinars and they've grown. This is why we've seen so many sales over, the last week or so, is that this group is duplicating. Okay. Many people have gotten there too. We've already gotten, I think, 3 people promoted to 300, one pretty much to 800, 4 or 5 really to 300 when I think about it. And we've got folks that are on the way to 1,600. So my point, guys, is this.